guys, I'm Steve Freeman. Welcome back to the Steve Freeman Podcast. It is so good to be back with you yet again. Today we are talking about the fact that it is impossible to yield full-time results from a part-time effort in your music career. Before we get into it today, do the thing you know you gotta do. If you're watching the podcast today on YouTube, please hit that subscription button, hit the bell icon next to it so that you're notified every time I upload a new video, any new content. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, please subscribe to the podcast there as well and give us a 5-star review. The podcast is available everywhere you get your audio podcasts, and video-wise, it's available on YouTube and Twitch. You can also catch it on my website, thestevefreeman.com or thestevefreemanpodcast.com. And if you want to know more about music business, you want to know more about the industry and learning how to navigate it, the ins, the outs, the do's, the don'ts, the wrongs, and the rights, join my weekly newsletter, The Revolution. It's absolutely free to join. I don't sell your information or share your email address. None of that good kind of stuff, just a lot of great information from me to you. And you can find that on my website as well. All right, let's get into it. I work with a lot of artists. I write with a lot of different songwriters. My favorite thing to do is work with unsigned and independent artists. Sure, working with major label artists and artists that are established is a good thing, especially financially for your bank account. But it's not where my true passions lie. My true passion lies, as you guys know that have followed this podcast and my YouTube channel, is educating new and emerging artists and songwriters and producers. Because I feel like there's so much misinformation out there. It's ridiculous. Believe it or not, I do the exact same things you guys do. I get on YouTube. I get on Apple Podcasts. I listen to other people's podcasts. I watch their videos. Because I want to know what you guys are finding when you're out there and you're searching for information, because I know you want to be successful. I know you want the efforts that you're making to bear fruit. And it amazes me, the information that I find. And I know this is what you guys are finding and hearing as well. And I know a lot of you are trying to apply these different things that you're hearing from all these different people, trying to make sense of them, apply them to your careers, and you don't really see them working. And after I've watched so many of these videos and listened to so many of these podcasts, I can tell you the reason is because it's misinformation. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about any of these other people in particular, but several of them I went and actually did research, and I can't find any credible evidence that they've ever actually done this successfully themselves. We've talked before on the podcast and in various videos about the importance of working with people that are relevant. And it's never been so more true than it is right now, because like I said, I found so much misinformation. One of the biggest things that I find out there that a lot of people are preaching is how to speed up your music career, or how to work less and accomplish more, or the 20-hour work week. Guys, the fact of the matter is you cannot expect full-time results on a part-time effort. Think of it this way, almost like a bank. If you've got $500 in your bank account, you can't go down to the bank and withdraw $3,000. Matter of fact, if you have $500 in your bank account, you can't go down to your bank and draw $501. You can only withdraw the amount that you deposit. There is no way to speed up your music career. Can you make sure that you're doing things properly, that you're prepared? If you're a songwriter, that you're constantly working on your craft to make your songs better, make your songs commercial, or if you're a songwriter and an artist, that you're honing your identity and your brand as an artist, and that you're writing songs that are congruent with that specific brand? If you're a producer, are you learning all the new DAWs? Are you learning and knowing how to use all of the different plugins? Do you know how to coach an artist? Do you know how to teach an artist how to use their breath when they step in the vocal booth to make sure that you get a good product? Do you know how to put 5 to 7 musicians with different personalities in a room and make a product that sounds amazing, even though it's coming from 5 or 7 different individuals? Do you know how to deal with those different people's personalities to get the most out of them? These are all things that take time. They're all things that take practice. It's not something that you can perfect. As successful as I consider myself to be, I'm still learning. Every time I walk into a session, I'm learning something new about one of the players on the session. I'm learning something new about the artist that I'm working with. Or if I'm co-writing, sometimes I've never written with this person before, so I have to get to know this person. What's their personality? What's their style? It's a constant evolution of learning. I don't see how it's possible to put so much effort into trying to find a way to do something faster and do something quicker. Because every time we try to do something fast, or every time we try to make something happen quicker, we miss steps. And sometimes, and most of the time, honestly, those steps are crucial steps in having a foundation and a basis for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So is there a way to speed up your music career? No. There's not really a way to speed it up. And I don't understand some of the other things that I've seen out there that people talk about is hurry up and try to get to a certain point so that you can work less. I'm going to go back to it and say it again. You cannot expect full-time results on a part-time effort. And I would also challenge and say that I think the people that are trying to accomplish that are not trying to hone their craft. They're trying to make a quick buck because you see the entertainment industry and it looks like everybody's making all this money and you think you're talented, you're a good songwriter, you're a good producer, you're a good artist. You want your piece of the pie, so I want to get it as fast as humanly possible. That's a disease in the music business. I don't see very many artists anymore that actually want to do it properly and take the time that it takes to develop yourself, hone your craft, become a specialist, do what you do better than anybody else. There is no fast track to that. And everybody's out there talking about get there fast so that you can work less. I watched a video the other day with somebody that I think a lot of. I don't know them personally, but everything he was talking about was trying to get you to do these things, buy this course, watch this so that you can actually work less. Guys, I'm going to tell you the answer in the music business is never work less, ever. It's work more. I understand that a lot of you guys are not in a financial position to be able to make music full time. And that's the goal. That's what you want to do. Maybe you have a day job and then you're having to put a part-time effort into your music career. But I'm not going to be one of these guys that says we need to do this, this, and this so that you can just work less and put less time into it and see all the benefits and the results. I'm the guy that's going to tell you if you have a full-time job, a day job, but you're wanting to make music your full-time career, if you work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at your day job, you need to be working 6 p.m. to 1 or 2 a.m. on your music. You need to make music a full-time job, even if you have a day job already. Sounds like a lot of work, but guys, it is. I cannot find a shortcut that I can share with you that's going to make it happen faster and make it happen quicker without the product suffering and your growth as an artist, songwriter, producer, or business person. It's going to stunt your growth. Hard work is the answer to every goal you're trying to achieve. Consistency, persistence, and a willingness to sacrifice. And a lot of times that sacrifice comes in, you've worked all day, you've worked your 9 to 5, you're worn out, you're tired, your brain is absolutely saturated. The sacrifice comes in, instead of sitting down and turning on Netflix and binge watching a series to let it all go and relax a little bit, the sacrifice is you've got to get home, grab a quick meal, and get back on the horse. Now you got to figure, okay, I've got 2 jobs. I just worked my first job. Now it's time to sit down and work my second full-time job, which is my music career. You have to, I tell this to people all the time because I love it when artists contact me about working with me or me producing their record or working with them through the artist development company. I ask them what they want. And the list of what they want is I mean, you could fill a legal pad with the list of things that they want, but then they don't have any money. And I tell them, and it comes off harsh, and I know that it does, but it is the truth, especially when it comes to the music business. And that is, your expectations have to match your checkbook balance. Period. Again, you can only withdraw what you deposit. So when you're done with that first full-time job, you've got to look at your music career as your second full-time job. And what are you willing to give to that full-time job? You get home, you have, like I said, a quick meal, and then it's on to music stuff, whether it's writing songs or getting a small rig of yourself at home. I saw another video the other day. This is important. It's not the answer. It's not the solution, but you need to know how to work Pro Tools, how to work Logic, how to take your songs in their infancy and form them together to give to a producer like me, who I can listen to them and go, okay, I know what the vision for this song is. You've got to be able to do that. That's considered working on your craft, working on your career. Are you contacting venues? Are you contacting festival runners? Are you what are you doing? Who are you emailing? What are you researching? What are you designing? What are you posting on social media? What are you writing? What are you doing to make your music career full-time? Because you're not ever going to make it a full-time thing on a part-time effort. I know I keep saying it, but I want to stress it because I've seen so many other people out there giving you guys so much incorrect information. The music business is different than anything else. Maybe you can buy a t-shirt press and you can make a full-time business out of a part-time effort in printing t-shirts or in selling toys online or an Amazon store or garage selling like Gary Vee on the weekends. Maybe you can do that, but you cannot do it in the music business. It takes 110% of everything that you have. You can only withdraw what you deposit. I know that you guys are out there searching for answers. I know that you want to do things the right way. But I also know that in that search for information, you're starving for it. So anytime you see something that says, oh, this makes things go faster, this makes things, I understand that. We all want to see the victory. We all want to go, okay, if I can get from point A to point D a little bit faster, that's what I want to do. But guys, again, sometimes the legitimacy and what actually makes up you as an artist is what you learn in steps B and C. So skipping them is not doing you any justice. It might have a very short payoff. There might be something that pays off immediately, but you will not have a career in the music business that lasts. There is a difference. Side tangent here. There is a difference between an artist and an entertainer. This is one of the things when I'm working with an artist and I'm developing an artist that I hone in on very quickly. There is a difference between somebody who makes a living playing music and an entertainer. We don't have a lot of entertainers anymore because that's not where people's focus anymore. It's on this get-rich-quick scheme in the music business, whether it's selling beats or getting on the radio or getting your video on MTV. We don't think about putting in the time that it takes to hone a craft and become an entertainer. You think back over time, you think about artists like Elton John. You think about artists like Garth Brooks, Taylor Swift in more modern times. Bands like Rush. They were focused on being entertainers, not just people who got paid to get up there and sing. And I see a correlation almost like between generations. Because when you look back over music business history, the people that we can point to that we think these are the most successful people in the genre, in the music business, they came up at a time where money was not the goal. Becoming an entertainer, performing for people, entertaining people, that was the goal. Money was the icing on the cake, and the better you did your job, the more money you made. Somewhere along the line, that changed. And today's generation of artists are so much more focused on making money that they try to figure out ways and schemes to do as little as they possibly can do in order to cut to the chase and get to the money. And guys, I would encourage you to do the exact opposite. Take a page from the old school. Think about making your craft excellent. Think about performing. Think about entertaining. Thinking about making the product the best it can possibly be. I have a saying that I've always said, and I believe it to be true. It's been true in my career. It's been true in some of the careers of the artists that I've helped, because I let this guide me. I truly and honestly believe if the music is right, the business will be there. Not if the business is right, the music will be there. And that is how 99% of the music business works today. We have a ton of artists who think, well, if the money's there, then I'll make the art right. If the money's there, I'll be creative. When it's almost like pulling the cart before the horse. If the music is right, the business will be there. You can expand upon that. If my songs are right, the business will be there. If my performance is right, the business will be there. If I put the work in up front, the business will be there. Now, one thing I didn't say in that is that the business will be there right away, or the business will be there tomorrow, or the business will be there next week or overnight, because it won't. Fact of the matter is, it may take years. I was writing songs and producing records for 12 years before I had my first number one. 12 years. And I think I've said this in podcasts before, my catalog of songs overall, I think it's over 3,000 songs now over the last 20 years. And just barely less than 2 handfuls of those have gone to the top 10, top 5, or number 1. Those numbers are not in your favor, but I don't get up every day, and I don't think that everything I'm going to do is going to be one of those special ones. But I do know that if I don't get up and I don't produce this record, or I don't write this song, that it's not going to happen. The fact of the matter is that none of us know what's going to be that song, what's going to be that record, what's going to be that performance that leads to the business being there. But I do know that if we don't put that work in up front, it's never going to happen. A lot of sales trainings, you'll hear this, that you have to go through so many no's to get to a yes. So you go through and get to those no's as fast as humanly possible, and you almost even get to a point where you look forward to hearing no, because it means you're that much closer to a yes. I don't buy into a lot of the salesman theory, but I think that's a pretty solid fact and a pretty solid lesson for an artist or somebody that wants a full-time career in the music business to think about. You don't know that the song you're writing right now is going to be the one. Chances are it's not. It's probably going to be the one 500 songs from now. But to get there, you've got to write 499. And you can't do that on a part-time effort. Again, guys, you cannot expect full-time results on a part-time effort, and you can only withdraw the amount that you deposit. I encourage each one of you, find excitement, find enjoyment, and find validation in the process. Find a sense of who you are in the work leading up to the business happening. Enjoy the journey and know that every step that you're taking is helping you get to a point where the business will be there. There is no way to speed up your music career. There is no fast track to success. I know you look out there and you see artists and you think that that's what's happened, but it's not. There was a country artist in Nashville that was on a live interview one time. I think it was on the CMA Awards red carpet. And the interviewer said something to the fact that it's like you just came out of the blue. And he looked her dead in the eye and said, yep, I'm a 7-year overnight success. That's the music business, guys. And the sooner you understand that and the sooner you accept it and you let that serve as fuel and motivation to push you forward, until you do that, you're going to be sadly mistaken, disappointed, and ultimately you're going to lose your passion for the art. And guys, it should be all about the art. Think about your art. Stop thinking about the money. Stop thinking about how fast you can get to the money. And I'll leave you with this. My old saying, if the music is right, the business will be there. Stop trying to speed it up and hone your craft. Make the music right, and the business will be there. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of the Steve Freeman Podcast. It's great to have you here. I'm loving the emails I'm getting from you guys, and I'm even doing a couple one-on-ones this week. And if that's something you're interested in, you can find out more information about that on my website, thestevefreeman.com. It's a 2-hour Skype, FaceTime, basically video conference call where you can ask me any questions you want to ask. We can listen to your music. I can critique your music, give you some pointers, give you some help, some advice, and maybe even create a strategy for you moving forward to obtain your goals. It's called One-on-One. It's a coaching and mentoring session. I'm doing them now and loving them. I'm loving getting to know you guys. And even more importantly, hearing some really good music that you guys are making. And I'm loving it. If it's something you'd be interested in, you can find out more about it on my website, thestevefreeman.com. If you're watching the podcast on YouTube, don't forget, please subscribe to the channel. It's growing. I'm loving it. Hit that subscription button, but make sure too that you hit the bell icon next to it so that you're notified anytime I upload new content. If you're listening to the podcast on any of the audio platforms, you can subscribe there as well. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, do me a favor, leave us a 5-star review. And if you have a couple of seconds, jot down a couple thoughts in the review section on what you think about the podcast. And if you want to know more about the music industry, some tips, tricks, advice, personal stuff from me, join the revolution. It's my weekly newsletter, absolutely, totally free. Guys, until next time, keep being creative. Keep pushing the boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with being independent. See you in the next one.